Hey there, good folks. Coach Kunin here. All right, most of you are still in quarantine in terms of the gym. Certainly here in Australia, gyms are basically closed for another month, which is a little bit disappointing. It's okay to get a haircut or to get a massage or to get a good waxing, but not gyms yet, not even personal training studios like this. Nonetheless, we make do with what we got. For a lot of my clients, I'm training them with bands. This is just brand new, out of the wrapper. It's a good thick band, a lot of resistance. When we're looking at band training, we got to keep a couple things in mind. One, your muscles, they don't have eyeballs, okay? So when they feel fatigue, it's going to be about relative fatigue. It's not necessarily about, lifting 100 kilos off the ground. You may have to do a lot more reps to get to that point. But the point when you're doing training with bands is you got to take note of how many reps that you get, and you got to improve upon it. That is progressive resistance. Might not be with actual weight, but it's going to be time under tension. It's a chance to improve your cardiovascular fitness, your movement patterns. It's actually also a chance to sort of recover from some heavy-duty compound movements with bars and dumbbells that sometimes can have a bit of wear and tear. So do not look at this as a step back. This could be the step forward that you need. Also, when I'm looking at band trainings, I want you to understand that there are tons of variations, okay? I could do, for example, banded hamstring curls. I can do leg extensions. But here's the caveat on that. A lot of those movements are hard to get in and out of without someone helping you. So what I want to do is I want to pick those exercises that have the best bang for the buck, that you're going to be able to do simple enough, but still with intensity, with laser-like focus, with short amounts of rest. So again, you can get strong, you can build your endurance, stay fit, stay healthy, etc. That's still going to stimulate some hormones. You're going to feel better for doing it. So when we're looking at leg training with bands, I'm going to stick to squatting movements. I'm going to pick my favorite lunging movement and a couple of different hamstring movements. The main one being basically Romanian deadlifts, or almost stiff-legged deadlifts. All right, let's have a look at some squat variations first. Okay, now let's look at really what is similar to a trap bar squat slash deadlift. I got the band on the ground. I'm standing on it with both feet. That's going to create two handles. I'm going to grab my handles. I'm going to keep my chin up, my bum back, my chest high, and I'm going to drive straight up. Breath in, pause, push up. Now obviously you're going to have the most resistance when you get to the top of the movement. Why? Because that's where the band has the furthest stretch. So this is a movement that I want you to make sure that you squeeze those quads, make that mind-muscle connection. When you get to the top, keep your shoulders back, don't loosen up, stay tight. Let me give you a little side view. It's going to help. Look at the posture. Bum back, chest tall, drive. Breath in, breath out. Okay. Now, here's another that is a variation of a front squat. Now, I love these. Probably one of my favorite ones. You're going to stand on the band. Now have a look at my hand position. This is where it's key. My hands, my palms, are under the band about shoulder width apart. My palms are facing the sky. My fingers, they're aiming not towards the camera, but towards my ears. I come down, band's in a good stretch position. I pause, and I pop straight up. Breath in, straight up. Give me that side view again. Watch the posture. Making sure that my legs are staying straight, my knees aren't coming in, they're not pushing out. Down, drive up. Go higher reps on these. If you can get 15, 20 reps, roll with it. If it's too light, add another band. Down, driving up. Okay, I moved the camera around to basically replicate a hack squat. Now I got basically the bottom of an aerobic step. It doesn't matter. I just want something that can elevate my heels. And what I've grabbed is a foam roller. And this is just a killer on the quads. Trust me. It's tough body weight. Show you first body weight, and then we'll show you with the band. My heels are up. I'm sitting into the wall. I come down and up. With that proximity, everything is shearing right through the quads. Always like that pause, I always like that control. Now, trust me, you do 15, 20 of those, you'll know about it. But if you're really savage, and you know I am by now, and you know I want you to be as well, do the same deal. Down and up, adding that resistance. Right down, good range of motion, and up. Breath in, breath out. And trust me, you will feel your quads. The higher it is, more resistance. Breath in, down. If I want to pause, power back up. Awesome, awesome movement for the quadriceps. All right, let's look at another couple of hamstring movements. Okay, now when we're looking at hamstrings, pretty much, look, and I would say this, in a full room full of gym equipment, I would still, if someone were to say, what's the best hamstring movement? I'm always going to go with the Romanian or the AKA stiff-legged deadlift. Little bit of a disclaimer, I like a little bit of a knee bend just to unload the low back a little bit. Same setup as that first squat. I'm going to give this to you sideways. I've spread the band out. I'm stepping on it. I got my two handles. Now, unlike that first squat where I was bending those knees, all my focus is down the hamstring. I'm just hinging back, get that stretch to the hamstring, coming back up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. I can feel it all the way down just above the bottom of my knee. Straight up. Bum back, get that stretch. Straight up. Breath in. Breath out. Probably too much of a knee bend on that. Back, back, good. Stretch. Straight up. Same movement. Straight up. You'll probably be looking in that 15 to 20 rep range per set. I'm just going to fasten my band around the post. And pulling through. Not much of a knee bend as well. Hips forward, bum back. Hips forward, bum back. All the emphasis is through my hamstrings. If I want to make it harder, I stand back a little bit further. Let me change the camera angle. You'll get a little better view. There we go. Okay, hitting the hamstrings again. Got my band fastened. Straight through the legs. Hips forward. Not much knee bend, if any. Straight through the legs, almost like a center hiking the ball. Hips forward. If I want to make it harder, I can grab a little bit higher, or I can step back a little bit further. All right, those are what we call pull-throughs. Okay, last but not least, anyone who knows me knows that if there's a leg training session that's hard, they're not getting out of doing Bulgarians. So essentially, Bulgarians, you got any kind of step, and it's a lunge. Back foot is elevated, front foot forward. Have a focal point to keep your attention on. Hips and bum going back, chest, chin up, dropping straight down, driving through that front leg. Hips and bottom back, straight down, my knee's not coming forward, I'm pushing through my right heel in this case. Down and up. Let's get another version, another view I should say. Okay, let's have a look at a different angle. Bum back, got my balance, looking straight ahead, keeping everything upright, dropping straight down, driving through my front heel. And this just absolutely pummels quads and glutes. I love doing that unilateral movement, making sure that each side is having the same challenge. Now, if I want to make this even harder, do you think I want to make it harder? Yeah, I want to make it harder. I grab a band, and I'm going to fasten that band around that front foot. I'm going to still elevate. Down, I'm going to grab it fairly low. Straight up, that is a killer. Down, drive, straight up, chest up, down, straight up. Now, those, my friends, are your band options to smash the legs. And I want you to say, do about 3-4 sets of each movement. Pick a couple for the quads, pick a couple for the hamstrings. You want to throw in some calf movements, you can always do that. You can always, get up on one foot. Lots of things you can do, but when you're doing those movements hard, unless you're a bodybuilder, you probably don't have to focus on that. Do that, you're gonna get a great result. All right, hopefully you've enjoyed the content of the band series. If you like what you see, do me a favor. Appreciate it if you make sure that you follow, that you like the channel, thumbs up, ring the bell, you know the routine. That way we get a little bit bigger viewership and more people can be turned on some good sound exercise techniques. Have a great week, stay strong, watch next week, have some new content. All right, take care.